So in the last video, we created the view for the users, used for the users page. In this video, we're actually going to be getting the list of all the users and populating this table with read data. So let's get started. And the first thing I want to do is actually go over to create my script. In this part, I actually need to create data and say data. So I need to return a variable called user, and this will be an empty array for now. And what this user variable is going to do is it's going to accept the list of users I get from the database. And let's say methods. So let's just say get users, and this method is going to get the list of all the users in our application. So this is going to be a get request. I explained what the forward slash does in the when you are specifying a route in the previous video. And if you don't know what the forward slash does, please go back to previous video and see it. So I'm just going to say forward slash get users, this will be get all users, and that's all we need to do. I'm going to create a then method. So if this request is successful, I want to perform this callback, and I want to say this dot users. So this should be users equal to response, because I'm getting the response from the just call. So I'm getting a list of response and I want to do something with that response. So I'll say response.data dot users. So after this, I also want to get the errors. If I'm getting any error from the request, I also want to get the errors. And let's just say cache. I'm not getting any response. I'm just going to so I'm not getting any error. I'm just going to display a general message saying you have an error or anything. So for this, I'm going to use a package. I don't think I've installed it. So I'm going to use another package that will help us to display the error, and I think it's called a TOSA. Let's just say view TOSA. Yeah, I think this is it. So this package is just going to, it works the same way the suite alert works, but I just want you, for the sake of this video, I want you to know different ways which you can display error to your users. So if you go over to get installation first, you can use it directly as a CDN, or you can just run the NPM install view TOSA, and this is just going to install the view TOSA into your application. So my compiler just broke, so to fix this I just need to rerun the npm run watch and go over, you can create a new tab and just paste this right here, and this is just going to install the view TOSA. I've already installed it, so let's just clear this. So after this installation, you can go over to the documentation and actually see how you can get started using them. And the first thing you need to do is come to modular use. I think modular use as a plugin. Yes, so use as a plugin, you need to copy this and just paste it right here in your app.js. And the next thing you need to do is to actually use it. So come over here and also paste this code right here. And there are some default property that you can specify. So let's just come over to toss option. You can see the position, the toss right position, and the rest of it. You can actually go over to test all this out. I'm just going to use some default actions, and if you come over to get started, so this is how you use it. So if you come over to demo, I think, and there's a way you can use the default global use source option. Let's just see this. Um, yeah, so this is it. This is how you can overwrite the default. This is how you can override the default settings. So I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to take the default timeout and just come over here and also copy this because so for the position, if you come over here, the position we want the top right corner. That's correct. So top left, I want the top right. So I'm just going to copy this and actually paste it right here. So that's all we need to do. And to actually use this, let's see if it's compiled, because I turned off the notification, so it's compiled successfully. So to actually use this, test this out, go to get started, and let's just display a message and come over to our user, and let's just display a message. Let's just say created. So whenever this view component is being created, let's just display this message. And yeah, so let's just see that, and let's refresh. So let's just give it time to load. So this is the message, and yeah, so this what we actually want. I don't really like the countdown because the program, I mean the progress bar, I don't really like it, and so I'm just going to turn that off. So if you should go over to general use and just turn it off. I think, yeah, progress bar, let's just turn it off. So if you go over to just turn this off. So if we should refresh, yeah, so this is what I want. I want this kind of message. And yeah, so if we should go over to remove this. So I actually want to display this kind of message whenever I get the request, get an error in the request. So I'll just say this message. Let's just see how to use that again. And this is an error message. So let's copy that and just paste it right here. And this we just say error, error. Let's just say cannot load users. So you can do better than that. And the type is the title. So the first one is the message you're displaying, while the other argument is the title of the message. So if we should refresh now, I think so. Let's just call this function this dot get users. So let's just wait for that to compile. Yeah, it's not compiling. Let's refresh, and we should get that error. Yeah, we got that error, and the reason why we got the error is that we've not created this route. So if you go over to our web file and just come over here and create this route right here. Let's just say route get, it's a get request. Let's just say get all users. Is it users or user? I think it's users. So get all users, and this is going to go over to the user controller, and I want to give a function of get all. So yeah, so if you should go over to the user page, and let's just create that method. So this is just going to be a public function. This is going to be get all, and this is going to get the list of all the users. Then let's just say user, we can use this function get all, but what I want is I want to get the latest user. I want it to be sorted by the last user, and let's just say get, and let's just try to import this because we didn't actually import it in our previous. Okay, we use the alt command. So we've import that, and now and in your virtual studio you might not have this import class is an extension. You just have to come to extension. I think, where is it? Extension, and just search for, I've forgotten the name, just search for PHP EPA also, so that we get the list of, and just try to install a couple of extension, PHP EPA extension, and you will have that. So let's go over to our files. So if we should come over to, so let's just try to return the value now. So return response, and this will be a JSON response as usual, and this is going to have a status code of 200 which indicates OK. So let's just say users, and this will be $users. Sorry, so $users. So we've got that. If we should come over to our inspect elements and just do reload this. So let's just give it time to load. So you can see the request. Right now. We got some couple of. We only have a user. In our project. That's not good enough. Probably by the end of this video, I'll create more users. I will add more users to this, or we can just build the add new user functionality and start adding new user directly. So I think that's what we going to do. So if you go over to our view development tool and actually check this user right here, we can see we have that that variable we created earlier, taking the user is an array. So that's what we want, and so after that we can now perform a loop and loop through the list of users we have. So all we need to do is just to perform a for loop. So let's just say for user in users, and let's just give it a key, and this key is just going to be user.id, and that's all. And my compiler just broke again. I don't know why this is happening, guys, so I'm just going to cut that and try to run it again. And to just stop the action, you just need to press Ctrl+C, and that will cancel whatever you have in your terminal. and let's just wait for that to compile, and let's just see that. So while it's compiled, let's just start populating our table. So the first thing I want to say is user.id, and I also want to put in the user.name, and I also want to put in the I also want to put the rows, but I haven't assigned this user to a row, so I'm just going to remove that for now, and let's just say user.email, and right here I'm just going to say td, just slash td, and right here I'm going to bring out the dates added. So let's just say user.created at. So for now everything looks good, and let's just wait for this to compile. Yeah, so that has compiled, and I'm still getting up. So let's refresh our page and actually see this in action. Now I think I have an error. Okay, we don't actually have any error, but this is saying fail to resolve derivative key. So let's just see what that means. So of course, so this is not a V, it's actually this way, and yeah. So let's just refresh that and see if we're still getting the error. Yeah, so the error is gone, and we have our data in this table. We have the email, but we don't have the row because we haven't assigned the row to this user, and we have the view button which are not doing anything for now, and we have this date posted. So in this way I'm going to stop this video for now, and in next video I'm actually going to use a time function for this. It's called moments.js, and I'm just going to use it to actually create a few flitter, and this is just going to the date created to be more reasonable, to look more reasonable than the way it is right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it has been informative to you. So please, if you're new to this channel, please click the subscribe button and turn on notifications. So thanks guys.